What's good? My name is Maxim Zharkov. I'm out here, you feel me, sitting with Respect the Vibe. We out here. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida originally. I'm an 18-year-old designer based up in Broward County, and I do figure skating as well. So I grew up in Daytona Beach, Florida, from up to age 3, and then I was up in Texas from 3 to 13. Moved to Florida whenever I was 13, and then moved back here 5 years ago. So then just been here for the last 5 years. So I had started the clothing brand around in 2019, 2020, something like that. And I had originally started it as a gateway to get out of some negativity and some hardships. You feel me? Just put my negativity into something positive. You feel me? The name of the brand is GOiNGTOHELLSOON, which is basically you're going to hell to create something positive, which is hell is your mind, and you're bringing something out of your mind. You feel me? Something like positivity. My childhood was in Texas, so I had I was just figure skating and going to school, and then whenever I had moved down here, that's whenever I had started to I guess expand, become more of an extroverted individual. My mom is from Odessa, Ukraine. My dad is from St. Petersburg, Russia. So I have a little bit of an Eastern European background, but I'm basically American. You feel me? Born in Daytona Beach, Florida, but I have some Eastern European roots. I feel the biggest thing for me was that I was always an artistic person. You feel me? So I always somehow had some sort of artistry that would go along with me in my life. So I would either draw, I would paint as a jit, I would, you feel me, figure skating is an art form in itself, so I always had some kind of artistry that always followed me around everywhere, so the brand was something I just kind of wanted to start up in 2020, because I feel who doesn't like fashion, you know what I mean? That's you see fashion everywhere, so whenever I had first started my brand, I had met up with this one dude, shout out to Angel from Dragoon. He had basically mentored me and helped me get where I was to begin with, and then he basically put me on to a lot of people, which also mentored me and helped me. So I was 16, getting advice from these people that were doing clothing for years and years, and basically it just stemmed from the factor that I started tapping in with a lot of these artists, rappers, designers, fashion creators, everybody, and I would just pass out my clothing specifically to people that I even listened to back in middle school, you know what I mean? So they would support the clothing, and I would paint clothing for them, everything, Whenever I first started, the one thing that kept me going was just the drive to create. You feel me? Without creation, none of this would be alive without creating. You know what I mean? Somebody created this glass wall. You know what I mean? Or this chair. So the drive to create was always within me. So I kind of just kept pushing that drive to create more and more and more. And I keep pushing that drive weekly. You feel me? So I'll have some art, some clothing, everything, man. I'd say the one thing that always kept my drive going and not losing sight of where I was going. I was walking always in a straight line. You feel me? Metaphorically. So I'd say the one thing that kept my drive going was just seeing these people that are buying my clothing, wearing it, you know what I mean? So if one person buys this t-shirt I made, that's already giving me such motivation and inspiration to just keep going more and more, you feel me? So that more people can wear my art and my clothing and my pieces, you feel me? I'd say did my fair like share of research into like the punk, the grunge culture back in the 80s, the 60s, you know what I mean? From Kurt Cobain, like the grunginess, from the Sex Pistols, from Vivienne Westwood, shout out and R.I.P. to Vivienne, from anything, you know what I mean? Like anything that that always caught my eye was like something that was like almost like derived from punk. So punk is basically like its own little like lifestyle, you feel me? So people would rip up their t-shirts and like splatter paint on them, you know what I mean? So that was like some primary like inspiration. So I had just dropped these corduroy bucket hats, you know, with the horns, you feel me? The corduroy devil horns with the corduroy bucket hat. People go crazy for these. Shout out to Rafi from Loki Industries. He did a corduroy hoodie, and that had pushed me to do something corduroy as well. So I had just dropped these corduroy devil bucket hats, because where else are you gonna see a hat like this? You feel me? My homie gave me this nickname whenever I was like a jit. He called me a big hair, big heart. So that's like this logo right here, and basically I turned my nickname into a cartoon, you know, full plushy. This is me. This is big hair, big heart, just with a broken line in the middle, because we all go through our like broken moments. You feel me? Made some ski masks with that, you know. Got like these in like gray, black, you feel me? Turning my negative moments into something positive, such as this, you feel me? Making something like out of myself, you feel me? Because like fashion was always something that had like caught my eye, so I never was like basically like never lost interest in like clothing or something like that. So I always like, since my homie gave me that nickname, my mom one day she drew out like this little heart with like a scribble on top, which is like, if you notice, that's like the logo. And I had just like added like the broken line in the middle, you feel me? So that was like where it all started, where I was like, oh, like, you feel me, like this logo like could be something, you know? My upbringing, man, I used to listen to like everything, like from Tupac, Biggie, a bunch of rap from the 80s all the way up to like the 2000s, and even to like now, from even to the punk culture, Kurt Cobain, everything. So I'd say music is almost a form of inspiration, because I'm transfusing the music, like the aesthetic of the music, into the pieces. You feel me? So the grunginess you see in this hat, or like the, how do I say it? Like you just see something in this hat that you see in music, like certain music. You feel me? Like the same almost aesthetic. That's how I get some inspiration as well. I derive it from music, you know? Just the drive of seeing people like wearing my stuff, man. You feel me? Like I feel like there's no better feeling than seeing somebody wear my art across like on the street, or like at a show, you know what I mean? Or like have my like favorite musician rocking like the pieces, like somebody I listen to on like a basis, you feel me, like a daily basis. Shout out to Bass Santana, Flyboy Tarantino, them two, they had supported the brand from the start. Shout out to Hi, my name's Ryan. He had helped me as well with like tapping in with a lot of these individuals, and just I feel like all these people that like I'm getting, like I used to listen to bass back in like middle school, you know, Flyboy back in middle school and everybody. So like now having these people rock my pieces like right in front of me, you feel me? Like that's almost making my younger self like proud, you know what I mean? Like that's like something that's like another form of like inspiration for me. I'd say that like there's not like a specific person that like inspires me. It's more just people I'd like to like work with, or bring my pieces to, you feel me? Obviously like my parents are like a good inspiration for me, you know, because whose parents, like, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be here without your parents, you feel me? So you always got to give credit where it's due. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with like the pace that I'm going at, you feel me? keeping connecting, you feel me, reaching out to everybody, seeing who likes the brand, who doesn't, you feel me. I kind of had to teach myself to almost think this way, you know what I mean? So if you're always going to be putting yourself in this one specific hole, you're not going to be able to get out of this hole and basically like expand, you feel me? So you always want to, like, how do I say, teach yourself to think better, you know? You don't always want to be stuck in the same old teenage mindset or be stuck in the same old like middle school mindset. You obviously always want to expand, you always want to learn, you feel me? You never want to be putting yourself into this corner and not like getting anything from it, you know what I mean? You always got to like do what's best for yourself. You know, mental health is one of the most detrimental things, especially in my generation. I feel like everybody struggles through mental health. You know, I feel like obviously seek help if you need help. But for me, mental health was always something that I'm a kind of a person that likes to hide how I truly feel. So I always had to deal with my own negativity by myself, which made me train my like mental into thinking more positively, less pessimistic, looking always in the positive direction, you feel me? Always walking in like the right line, you know? And you feel me, like it's not easy out here. So like people are obviously gonna like I had lost a friend who had just supported me from the beginning. Rest in peace to Gayton. He was at my first pop-up shop. He had passed away in April, a day after my birthday. But stuff like that, you feel me? Like that sort of stuff just keeps like pushing me more and more to do it for people that like that. You know what I mean? I do it for the broken people. He was one of the first people to support me. He was the first people to actually do the first person to do my first interview, and that was like a big thing that like also pushed me in the right direction. So if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here right now, you know what I mean? So, like, R.I.P. to Gayton, man. I'd say, like, the one thing, obviously, is that, like, you should always, like, maintain something from, like, the past, so something from, like, as, like, a child, you know what I mean? Because if you lose track of, like, your childhood, or, like, something from your upbringing, you're gonna lose track of it eventually as, like, an adult, you know what I mean? So I always like to like reminisce and like dive back into like, you feel me, like them nostalgic cartoons, you know, like South Park, all of them like Adult Swim cartoons, anime, you know what I mean? So something that like, even like from that I take inspiration from as well. But I just like to maintain having that around me, you feel me? So that then I never lose track of like who I was or like where I came from, you know? I got like some big plans I want to do with like this logo specifically, like crossbody bags, you feel me? Like make this the strap that goes around, you know, like something that you've never seen before in your life. But other than that, I'm always going to be trying to one-up the last project. So everything that you see coming out from me is always going to be better than the last item, you know? So that's always the goal, you feel me? And everything is like limited as well. Eventually I want to throw more pop-up shops, do like some events at some shows. Whenever the money is right, I want to open up my own studio as well, just to have the homies come through, chill, you feel me? Have like my own little store, have like some clothing brands and everything, like put their stuff in like certain little sections, you feel me? Just for the community, you know what I mean? Like give back to the people, let them come through, chill with me, you feel me? Like all that. Honestly, the biggest plans for the future is just consistency, you feel me? Without consistency, you're not gonna have a foundation. So keeping, I have some hoodies coming through, and just keeping that same consistency throughout the years as I create, you feel me? Because this is a lifestyle, you know what I mean? Like this is always gonna be around, so I'm gonna have to keep that consistency flowing throughout, you know? So if I don't have that consistency, I'm obviously people are gonna forget about you, you know what I mean? So you gotta keep that and maintain that. To the people that say you only have to limit yourself to one thing, look at me, man, you feel me? A Team USA figure skater. I go out on the ice every day, 2 to 3 hours a day, you feel me? And I also maintain my own clothing brand, you know? So don't ever limit yourself to one thing. Always be multifaceted. Pick up new hobbies, you know what I mean? Do something new with your life. Learn new things, you know? Don't ever like put your mindset on the one thing specifically, because that's how you get stuck, you know? My message to you, the viewer watching, if I can do it, you can do it. You feel me? Go create, go do whatever. We have one life, you feel me? I just watched this movie, Gummo 1998, and there was a quote in the movie which was, life is beautiful, life is great, without it you'd be dead. You feel me? So always like keep that in the back of your head, even in the most negative situations, that life is beautiful, life is great. Without your life, you wouldn't be anything, you'd be dead, you feel me? You'd be forgotten, you know? So do whatever, like enjoy your life, you feel me? Go create, go play that sport, you know what I mean? Do whatever, man.